Greetings. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell your baby mama, tell your baby daddy, your cousin, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, and your daddy side to come watch this channel and subscribe to this channel, right? Y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. So, the show Snowfall just came to an end. Let me preface my statements by saying that I only watched a few episodes of the show. My sister loved the show, right? My boy Melvin loved the show. I got to get back into it. I was trying to watch too many different TV shows, Power, so on and so forth. So I never really got into the show like I was supposed to, but I'm going to go back and watch. But the ending of the show is causing like a lot of, I don't know, it's causing a lot of discussion. My sister, my little sister, she tried to video call me on Duo because I don't have an iPhone, right? So she tried to Google Duo call me, and I was on the phone already. So then I texted her, I said, what's going on? What's wrong? She said, I'm okay. She said, did you see Snowfall ending? She said, it made me so sad I almost cried, right? And for those who don't know, I was just trying to sum it up. Franklin Saint builds a drug empire over the years, builds a drug empire with his right-hand man, and a lot of things happen over the years. At the end of the story, Franklin Saint becomes a drunkard to where he looks homeless, looks like he does not take care of himself at all. Teeth look horrible. He just looks like a zombie, hopelessly roaming the streets. Worrying about, he has the memories of what life used to be for him. But at that current time, all he's worried about is getting his next drink. He just is a shell of what he used to be. And a lot of people are like, that ending depressed them. It made them sad. But I think it is critical for that ending to be the ending for a character like Franklin Saint. And shout out to John Singleton, a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, same fraternity that I'm a part of. John Singleton created the show. John passed away, and I think John passed away in 2019. And so the show has continued after his death. And it has continued to thrive and have high ratings. But nonetheless, a lot of people are saddened that is the ending for a great character. Not historical, but a monumental character like Franklin Saint. That would be his fate. People are feeling saddened by that. But I think it's a lesson behind those. I think the consciousness in me is looking for the message within it all. I think they had to make that show that ending because it's important to send a message to the kids that the life of a big time kingpin drug dealer, they're on a high for a few years, for some years, if that. They have a little run and a stretch, and then you witness the downfall. They either die, they'll go to jail for a very, 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 very long time, right? Or they become victims of they get high off their own supply. They become addicts to something. Sometimes it's their own supply. Sometimes it's something else. And they lead lives of despair. And all they have are these memories of what they used to be. And I think it's important to depict that, and not some glorious ending where he's smoking a cigar with a damn tiger in a mansion with money piled to the ceiling and he's smiling like everything is all good. We have a lot of shows that depict drug dealing on TV right now. We have a lot of impressionable kids. Kids have to see that ultimately the life most drug dealers lead is that they experience a rapid decline, a drastic fall. And they don't have a happy ending. They don't. And it's important for kids to see that so they won't get encouraged to sell drugs, sell dope, move weight, or move whatever they want to move, pills, so on and so forth, because it's not a glamorous lifestyle to lead, and it shouldn't be glorified. These stories are stories that, and Snowfall is a mixture of different street legends. From what I understand, a big part of it is taken from Freeway Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross, right? And it's other different drug dealer stories all put in one, and then they have their own twist and their own spin on the whole thing. But an individual like Freeway Rick Ross, he went to jail for a long time. Look at Big Meech. We got the BMF show on Stars right now. BMF is thriving and got all these high ratings. Big Meech's son is playing his character in the movie role, right? It's looking great. It's like, oh my God, I'm sure he's proud of his son and all this and all that. But at the end of the day, Big Meech still locked up in jail right now. His baby brother Terry is out of jail, but Big Meech, he's still locked up. He got to watch the show from a cell. That's the reality of what happened. And people everybody don't get TV shows where their son is playing them in a show. That's a good situation. At least he can see that his son being somebody and thriving in the entertainment industry and making his own name, so on and so forth, and being being prosperous in that manner. But everybody isn't lucky to have that ending. And it's important to see that Franklin Saint, in his ending, is just like a lot of other street drug dealers that we knew in the common era. Man, listen, I'm from Chicago, Illinois, born and raised. I'm still in Chicago. Y'all know how many clucks? We call them like, clucks is like another word for like a crackhead. Sometimes people call them hype, whatever, or addict, whatever. So many clucks in Chicago talk about what they used to do and what they used to have, and they used to do this, and they used to be the biggest, baddest thing walking around. They used to have this type of suit and this type of car. They had a nice little apartment, nice little house, all this and all of that. And we as kids, we look at them, we laugh, and we joke and be like, man, this man drunk out his mind, or he high, he just saying stuff. He's saying anything. That ain't the life he led. Ain't no way this dude could have had that life. But as we see from the Franklin Saint character, it's individuals who can have their life and then experience that downfall. So ain't no telling what them dudes used to have back in the day when they was drunk talking to us in front of the corner store, talking to us when they walking past the basketball court, asking us for a chance to shoot a jump shot, and after they on their way to get high, right? And so it's important for kids to see this, because everybody doesn't have this glorious ending, man. It ends bad for a lot of folks. For a lot of dudes that sell dope. And kids need to see that in order to steer away from that lifestyle. Don't think that, you can lead this life of crime and lead this life of drug dealing and everything gonna be good and you're gonna get away from it scot-free. No, that's not the message we want to send to kids. We can tell these stories, but we need to tell them the harsh reality of it. You're gonna either end up dead or in jail or fall to addiction. You're gonna lose it all. A lot of different things happen. You end up, his brothers that sold dope end up paralyzed from not having a dope man money like they were supposed to have. Dudes ended up, I'm talking about in terrible condition, ended up getting shot, doing all type of crazy stuff happening to them because they leading a fast lifestyle. And when you lead a fast lifestyle like Franklin Saint led, things come to an end at some point. When you be greedy, you have a thirst, a hunger for money. You have the what they say, the love. We have a deep love of money, a deep infatuation with money that's over the top. When you start doing illegal things, when you start leading a life of crime, when you start making fast money and making blood money type stuff, this is what comes of that, right? You lead it for so long, things don't go your way, you spiral into depression. You get addicted to certain things, substances, and it takes over your mind, your body, your spirit. You become a shell of what you used to be. So I think it was important for them. It was pivotal for them to show that to these young kids. Because there's so many drug shows on TV, they can get enamored with it and think that hey man, I can do this and we can do that and we can do this and we can do that. You watch all these different shows. I like Power Book too, right? I love the original Power. Right, you see Tariq and his homie Braden and the Tejada family moving all this dope, moving all this weight, moving all these drugs, moving this cocaine, these pills, and all this and all that, and they getting away with it. They getting away with it. They getting away with it. They getting off due to technicalities. That's not real life. Real life is that judge gonna find a way to book your ass, keep you in jail for a long time. You got wet pillows in jail from you crying so much because you realize all that dope you sold, just to have that money for a little bit of time, it wasn't worth it, because now you got to do 25 years, 20 years, right? I witnessed the Chicago rapper Lil Durk, man. His pops was in jail since he was like 9 months. Got out when Durk was like 26, 27 years old. Yeah, 26, 27 years. You miss your kid's life. You miss your grandkids being brought into this world. You miss all these different type of things that you could have been a part of. Your sons end up leading a lifestyle that they shouldn't have led, or probably could have been steered away from had you been around to steer them in the right direction, to have your hand on them, your guiding hand on them. Right? It's no real glory stories in the drug dealing business. It all comes to an end, and guys experience a precipitous fall, like they experience a deep, steep drop, and their decline it's hard to watch. I remember an ending like this. Well, Dookie was never, and I watched the TV show The Wire. The character Dookie was not he wasn't a big time drug dealer, nothing. Dookie was shown that lifestyle wasn't for him, right? He had a terrible home life. Family was addicts. People talked about how he smelled a lot, all this and all of that. And he was a smart kid. But eventually he succumbed to heroin. He fell to that addiction. And at the end, you see him getting high and he walking off into I remember when him and Michael were departing from one another. And Michael was on the run. Michael was a hot boy. He had got into some stuff. He had to get away. He didn't want Dookie to be hurt from stuff that he had done. Drop Dookie off to where people get high. And did you see him walking and you see the fire in the background burning a little bit, burning in the barrel? It's like Dookie walking into a hellhole. And at the end of the show, you see him getting high with the little dude he used to be with. What was the dude? What they call the dude, man? What was the dude, man? I forgot his name. But Dookie is getting high off heroin, shooting up. It was a young boy. You watch a young person become an addict. That's a horror. And although it was painful to see that ending, I think it was necessary to show, because this is what happens to people. People become zombies off the dope that people are selling, and it makes people cognizant of what can happen. You out here selling dope. Look what happens to the black community when you out here pushing dope to your people. Look what happens to our neighborhoods. Look what happens to the people that you love, the people that was your next door neighbor. You know, the mothers and fathers of some of the kids you went to school with. The dope you selling them, they become zombies and they become lifeless. And somehow, some way, you either could become dead, which you're lifeless at that point. You be in jail, which you really don't have no real life, but trying to survive every day in a hellhole like jail, or you become an addict. And you're lifeless like that. You're lifeless like that because you're a shell of what you used to be, just walking around like this is the damn Walking Dead, like Franklin Saint was at the end of the episode, man. And man, my sister was like, I watched the clips and I'm like, wow, man, he really gone. He's really gone. Brother was clean, straight edge guy at one point, wearing suits, looking fly. Now he in a wife beater, or a tank top for those who don't know the term wife beater. Just walking around with a drink and a bottle, and just talking, speaking drunken thoughts. This is what happens to people. And you can be the drug kingpin, you can be the man for a little bit of time. That time ceases. You're only gonna be the man for so long. Your time gonna run out. Franklin Saint's time ran out, and he became a mess. He lost himself in that. Like, his time ran out, he knew it was over. Got depressed, and look what happened. But this is the end for most drug dealers. Most dudes who build a drug empire, they end up like that, or even worse. So I think it was important for them to show that ending. It was critical, and they did a great job with it. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.